Welcome to Blue Health Daily.
You eat every single day. Maybe it is 3 meals. Maybe it is 5. Maybe you grab a quick snack while checking your phone or answering emails. Eating is such a normal part of life that most of us rarely stop to think about it. But have you ever asked yourself a surprisingly simple question? What actually happens to your food after it disappears from your plate? Think about it. How does a crisp apple become the energy that powers your brain? How does a piece of salmon eventually become part of your muscles, your skin, or even your immune system? And why is it that some people can eat a large meal and feel energized, while others finish eating and immediately feel tired, sluggish, and ready for a nap? The answers are far more fascinating than most people realize, because every single meal begins an extraordinary journey through one of the most advanced biological systems ever created, the human body. Inside you, at this very moment, billions of microscopic processes are working together with incredible precision, breaking down food, extracting nutrients, producing energy, repairing tissues, and keeping you alive. Today, we are going to follow that journey step by step, from the moment food enters your mouth to the moment it becomes the fuel that powers every heartbeat, every breath, and every thought. Once you understand what happens inside your body after every meal, you may never look at food the same way again. Welcome back to Blue Health Daily. Let us begin. Imagine your body as a vast, highly organized factory. Every department has a specific responsibility. Every worker knows its job. And every meal that enters your body starts a carefully coordinated chain of events. The process begins the moment food enters your mouth. Most people think chewing simply makes food easier to swallow. But chewing is actually the first step of digestion. Your teeth break food into smaller pieces. At the same time, your saliva gets to work. Saliva contains digestive enzymes that immediately begin breaking down certain nutrients. In other words, digestion starts before food ever reaches your stomach. The more thoroughly you chew, the easier it becomes for the rest of your digestive system to do its job. Once swallowed, food travels down a muscular tube called the esophagus. From there, it enters the stomach. And this is where things become much more dramatic. Your stomach is far more than a simple storage pouch. It acts like a powerful biological mixing chamber. Strong acids and digestive enzymes begin dismantling food into smaller and smaller components. Proteins are broken apart. Harmful microbes are destroyed. And the stomach rhythmically contracts, mixing everything into a semi-liquid substance. If you have ever imagined digestion as a slow, passive process, the stomach proves otherwise. It is an active, powerful environment constantly working behind the scenes. After several hours, this partially digested mixture is slowly released into the next stage of the journey, the small intestine. And this is where the real magic begins. Most people assume the stomach does the majority of the work. But surprisingly, the small intestine is where most nutrient absorption actually occurs. This remarkable organ can stretch more than 20 feet in length. Its inner surface is covered with millions of tiny finger projections called villi. Together, they create an enormous surface area designed to absorb nutrients with incredible efficiency. Think of it as the main processing floor of the factory. As food travels through the small intestine, it is broken down into its smallest usable parts. Proteins become amino acids, fats become fatty acids, carbohydrates become simple sugars. These nutrients are then absorbed directly into the bloodstream. At this point, the food you ate no longer resembles food at all. It has been transformed into raw biological materials. your body can use to build, repair, protect, and fuel itself. But before these nutrients can be distributed, they must first pass through an important checkpoint: the liver. If the small intestine is the processing floor, the liver is quality control. Every nutrient absorbed from your digestive system passes through this remarkable organ, and the liver decides what happens next. Some nutrients are released immediately for energy. Others are stored for later. Some are converted into forms that your body can use more efficiently. The liver also helps regulate blood sugar levels. The liver processes medications, filters potentially harmful substances, and produces important proteins. It is one of the busiest organs in your entire body. And here is something important to remember. You are not simply what you eat. You are what your body can successfully digest, absorb, and utilize. A meal only benefits you if your body can actually process it. Now let us talk about the nutrients themselves, starting with carbohydrates. Carbohydrates often get a bad reputation, but the truth is much more balanced. Your body is designed to use carbohydrates as a primary source of quick energy. When you eat foods such as fruit, potatoes, rice, oats, or bread, your digestive system eventually breaks most of those carbohydrates down into glucose. Glucose is a simple sugar, and it serves as one of the body's most important energy sources. Your brain, in particular, relies heavily on glucose. Even though your brain represents only a small percentage of your body weight, it consumes an enormous amount of energy every day. But not all carbohydrates behave the same way. Imagine drinking a large, sugary soda. Within a short period of time, sugar floods your bloodstream. Your blood sugar rises rapidly. Your body responds by releasing insulin to move that sugar into your cells. At first, you may feel energized, alert, and even euphoric. But what rises quickly often falls quickly as well. Soon afterward, many people experience a crash. They feel tired, hungry, and often crave more sugar. Now compare that to a bowl of oatmeal, a sweet potato, or beans. These foods digest more slowly. Glucose enters the bloodstream gradually, energy remains steadier, and hunger tends to stay under control longer. This is one reason why food quality often matters just as much as calorie quantity. Hidden inside many healthy carbohydrate sources is something incredibly valuable: fiber. Unlike most carbohydrates, fiber is not fully broken down for energy, and that is actually one of its greatest strengths. Fiber slows digestion, helps regulate blood sugar, supports healthy cholesterol levels, and helps you feel full for longer periods of time. But fiber has another important job. It feeds the beneficial bacteria living inside your digestive system. These microscopic organisms play a surprisingly important role in your health. Fiber does not simply help food move through your body. It helps support an entire ecosystem living inside you that affects far more than digestion. For decades, dietary fat was blamed for countless health problems. Many people became convinced that eating fat automatically led to weight gain and poor health. But nutrition science has revealed a much more nuanced picture. Your body absolutely needs fat. Every cell in your body depends on it. Fat helps build cell membranes, supports hormone production, protects organs, helps absorb important vitamins, and provides a concentrated source of energy. Your brain itself contains a significant amount of fat, which means healthy fats play an important role in normal brain function. The key question is not whether you eat fat, it is what type of fat you are eating. Foods such as avocados, olive oil, nuts, seeds, and fatty fish provide fats that can support overall health as part of a balanced diet. Meanwhile, many ultra-processed foods combine refined fats, added sugars, and excess calories in ways that may contribute to poor health when consumed regularly. Once again, quality matters. If carbohydrates are fuel, fats provide energy storage. Protein is the construction material. Protein helps build and repair tissues throughout your body. Your muscles, your skin, your hair, your nails, your hormones, your enzymes, even many parts of your immune system. Every single day, your body is constantly repairing and replacing old cells, and protein makes much of that possible. When you eat protein-rich foods, your digestive system breaks them down into smaller units called amino acids. Think of amino acids as individual building blocks. Your body then uses those building blocks to create whatever structures it needs. Some amino acids can be produced by the body, while others cannot. These are known as essential amino acids because they must come from food. That is why consuming adequate protein is important throughout life, whether you are 25 or 75. Your body is constantly rebuilding itself, and it needs the right materials to do that job. But none of these nutrients are actually energy by themselves. The real miracle happens after these nutrients finally arrive inside your cells, where one of the most remarkable structures takes over: the mitochondria. Deep inside nearly every cell of your body are tiny structures called mitochondria. They are often called the power plants of the cell, but that description barely captures how important they truly are. Every second of every day, your mitochondria are hard at work. They take the nutrients extracted from your food, combine them with the oxygen you breathe, and transform them into a molecule called ATP. ATP is the body's energy currency. Every heartbeat, every blink, every breath, and every thought requires ATP. Simply eating food does not automatically give you energy. Food is only raw material. Your body still has to convert that material into usable fuel. That is why two people can eat the exact same meal and feel completely different afterward. Energy is influenced by how efficiently your body processes and utilizes that food. This is why sleep, exercise, stress management, and overall metabolic health are so important. They help support the systems responsible for producing energy at the cellular level. When people talk about nutrition, most conversations focus on calories, protein, carbohydrates, and fat. But there is another group of nutrients that often gets overlooked: vitamins and minerals. These nutrients do not provide calories or directly supply energy, yet life would be impossible without them. Think of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins as raw materials. Vitamins and minerals are the technicians, mechanics, and engineers keeping the machinery running smoothly. Without them, production slows down or stops altogether. For example, iron helps transport oxygen through your bloodstream. Magnesium plays a role in hundreds of biochemical reactions. B vitamins help your cells extract energy from food. Zinc supports immune function, and calcium contributes to healthy bones and nerve signaling. Even small deficiencies can leave people feeling tired, weak, or unfocused. This is why nutrition is about much more than simply counting calories. 100 calories from a sugary snack and 100 calories from nutrient-rich whole foods have very different effects on the body, because your body needs both fuel and the tools required to use that fuel effectively. Inside your digestive tract lives an enormous community of microorganisms. Trillions of them. Together, they form the gut microbiome, and these microorganisms play an incredibly important role in human health. They help break down certain fibers that human cells cannot digest on their own. They help support immune function and maintain the protective lining of the digestive tract. They also communicate with the brain through a complex network often referred to as the gut-brain connection. Some researchers even describe the gut as a second brain because of the extensive communication taking place between the digestive system and the nervous system. Have you ever felt butterflies in your stomach before a big event? Or lost your appetite during a stressful period? That is just one example of how closely connected the brain and gut really are. When the microbiome is healthy and diverse, the digestive system functions more effectively. Fiber-rich foods like vegetables, fruits, beans, nuts, and seeds provide valuable nourishment for this internal ecosystem. Fermented foods, such as yogurt, kefir, kimchi, and sauerkraut, may also help support microbial diversity. In many ways, you are not just feeding yourself. You are feeding an entire community living inside you. Unfortunately, modern life often works against many of the systems we have discussed today. One major challenge is the widespread consumption of ultra-processed foods. These foods frequently contain large amounts of added sugars, refined starches, excess sodium, and highly processed ingredients that make it difficult to maintain balanced nutrition. Another challenge is chronic stress. When your brain perceives a threat, your body shifts into survival mode. Heart rate increases, stress hormones rise, and digestion receives less attention temporarily. This response is useful during genuine emergencies, but many people today experience stress day. After a day without adequate recovery, affecting sleep, eating habits, and energy levels. Poor sleep is another major factor. While you sleep, your body performs important maintenance and repair work. When sleep quality suffers, many biological systems suffer along with it. Finally, physical inactivity creates challenges of its own. The human body was designed to move. Movement helps support circulation, metabolism, and muscle function. When movement disappears, the factory becomes far less efficient. The good news is that healthy eating does not need to be complicated. You do not need to obsess over every calorie or follow extreme dietary trends. Instead, focus on a few simple principles. Choose foods that look as close to their natural state as possible. Include a quality source of protein with your meals. Eat plenty of vegetables, fruits, beans, and other fiber-rich foods. Drink enough water throughout the day. Prioritize consistent sleep, move your body regularly, and give yourself grace when life is not perfect. Health is built through consistent choices, repeated over time. The next time you sit down to eat, take a moment to appreciate what is about to happen. That meal is far more than food. It is information, fuel, and raw material being delivered to trillions of cells throughout your body. Some of it may become energy, some may become muscle. Some may help repair damaged tissues, and some may help power the countless processes that keep you healthy and alive. The human body is one of the most extraordinary systems in existence, and every day it performs miracles on your behalf. The more you understand how this process works, the easier it becomes to make choices that support your long-term health, not through perfection or restriction, but through knowledge. When you understand your body, you can work with it instead of against it. Thank you for spending this time with us today. If you found this journey inside the human body interesting, be sure to subscribe for more evidence-based health content designed to help you live a healthier, stronger, and more vibrant life. And as always, take good care of yourself. We will see you in the next video.
Knowledge is infinite, and what I know is, honestly, just a grain of sand in the desert. Hitting the like button and subscribing is totally free, but it's a huge motivation for me to keep making better videos for you. Thank you so much for your support. I hope this gave you some helpful insights into health. If you have any thoughts, questions, or comments, feel free to drop them below.